Morning, everybody. Welcome to Iga Swiatek's press conference. Iga, I'll start today. How do you feel your grass court season has gone so far?
Well, for sure, proudly, so far it's the best one that I had. So I had really great time, great time in Bad Homburg, and enjoyed it. And yeah, also having more time to practice before on grass really helped. So I feel that I have a little bit more skills.
Thank you. Yep.
Hi Iga, Fazan here from Quarter Shot. You played your first grass court final yesterday at Bad Homburg against Pagula. How do you feel your level is at the moment compared to previous years?
I think better, and just having the experience of playing a few matches before, the same as in 2023. Yeah, it gives you more confidence, and I don't know, you just have to get through some situations on the court, and gives you, the extra experience and kind of the momentum to go forward, So I'm really happy I had opportunity to play there, and I played, the top players. So yeah, it gives a lot.
Beating Jasmine in the semifinals, what did that do for your confidence on grass? It was a nice win.
Thanks. Yeah, it was for sure something that I wasn't expecting, and it gave me a lot of confidence. Obviously, it's tennis, so every day is different, but I felt like I'm playing great, and I really pushed Yasmin the way I wanted to. So it was great. Yeah.
Ben?
More specific about what's feeling better on grass that used to be difficult for you in years past that feels less difficult now, whether it's movement or low bouncing balls or whatever it may be that feels better.
Honestly, it's not like a huge change. It's not like 180 degrees change. So I wouldn't say like now suddenly everything is like perfect, because it's still a difficult surface, and it's still tricky, but just having more years of experience, because every year it feels like it's a little bit easier to get used to the surface, and then you have more time to just develop as a player, and having more days, because I didn't stay home. I went to Mallorca to practice, just more time, like give me opportunity to work on some movement and stopping to the ball a little bit differently than on clay, and it helped. But overall, it also depends on the confidence you have at the moment, and you really have to trust your shots on grass. You can't really pull back, and any shot that will give your opponent more time to go in is probably the shot that will make you lose the rally. So I just went for it in Bad Homburg, and it really worked, so I'll continue that.
Willie?
Iga, you've spoken before quite extensively about mental health. I'm wondering what your thoughts are about the biggest challenges to players on the tour in terms of mental health, and what you think the tour should do to help players.
Well, that's a difficult topic, because obviously everybody has different, issues or see problems in different things. But for me, I think the scheduling is super intense, and it's too intense. There's no point for us to play like over 20 tournaments in a year. Sometimes we need to sacrifice like playing for your country, or because we need to like keep up with playing these WTA 500s, for example, because we're going to get a 0 in the ranking. I think these kind of obligations and the rules about mandatory tournaments just put pressure on us. And for me, the scheduling is pretty intense, and I think people would still watch tennis maybe even more if we played like less tournaments, but the quality, for example, would be better, or we would be more consistent because of that, So yeah, this is for sure challenging, but tennis is a difficult sport overall. Like every week you start kind of from the beginning, and like every week can tell you if you're a great player or you sucked at this week, So so you always have to have in the back of your mind that tennis is not your whole life, and you gotta give some perspective and also be proud of sometimes even when you don't win, because only one person out of, the whole tournament wins.
David?
Oh, there you go. Winning Roland Garros is obviously a huge high and a wonderful thing to achieve every time that you've done so. But I know that a lot comes with that in the aftermath. There's a huge high, a lot of obligations, the things you need to do as a champion. I just wonder this year, without having had that experience, do you feel in any way fresher coming into Wimbledon than maybe you did in the past?
Well, no, I mean, honestly, the obligations are basically after the match and day after, like, you just need to do a photo shoot. So I wouldn't say it's super tiring for someone who already won some tournaments and, have had the experience. So I wouldn't say that's changing anything, but for sure, I had 2 more days to practice on grass.
Iga, hi. I was just wondering if you could tell us, what do you recall of the 17-year-old Iga who won the Wimbledon girls title here?
Well, I think it feels like it was in a different lifetime, and it was probably the highlight of my career back then. And I remember, winning. It felt pretty surreal. But on the other hand, I came back home and like nothing really changed because it was, still at junior Wimbledon, not the real pro one. So I remember I thought my life is gonna be like perfect now, and then I was a bit disappointed. It was still the same, and I still had to get back to work. And I played some, ITF tournaments afterwards, and it was more like a reminder that I'm still not there yet. I should. The work kind of starts now, But for sure, it gave me like a lot of. I remember having a lot of just hope and. Just a feeling that maybe if it was possible now, it's going to be also possible in the future at the pro level.
There you go. Back at the French Open, I don't know if you talked about this, but before the tournament you practiced with Tabilo, right? Just curious, like, what was that like? He said it was kind of surreal and he was like really wanting to hit with you. So what was that like for you?
He said it's surreal? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm happy he says that. I don't know, maybe it was my forehand topspin. Yeah, he really wanted to practice. His coach asked us like a couple of times already, but it was hard for me to like schedule it because obviously for me it's a practice where I need to give like 300%, and there's, if I can't play like 50% because he's not gonna get anything out of it. So it was really intense for me. I don't think for him, but he says it was, yeah, it was nice to play with a guy because, I don't know, the tennis that they play is just different, like more patient and with his game style as well. Like we played some rallies and he's a lefty, so I also had trouble with that, and I had to adjust to the different pace and different tactics that guys have, and I really enjoyed it, and hopefully it's going to be possible to do it again. But obviously, like, it's not that kind of practice I would do like in the middle of matches, like on a day off, because it was just super intense. I'm glad that I had a day off after.
And relatedly, you're playing mixed doubles with Casper, right? Just wondering what would that be like for you? And you played mixed doubles against him. So what was that like in United Cup? It seemed like you enjoyed like the rallies with his.
Yeah. I mean, I also love watching him. I had the opportunity to like watch just next to the court, and I said that I think like 2 weeks ago that if I would be a guy, I would play a forehand the same way as he does. So I don't know. It's just beautiful. So it's gonna be really a pleasure to play with him, and hopefully we're gonna go far. But it's mixed doubles. It's not like we're gonna have time to like practice it before. So I'll just focus on having fun and enjoying the different format.
Last question in English, Yasmin.
Hi Iga, I'm just curious what the last 24 hours have been like for you when you got to London, and how you manage sort of the quick turnaround when you go so deep the week before a slam.
Yeah, for sure it's something that doesn't happen often, because I usually play like this tournament that gives me a week of time off, before a slam to just practice here on site and everything. But yeah, on grass it's not possible for me. So yeah, I arrived yesterday at 9 p.m. And I'm staying close, so it hasn't been like hectic. I play on Tuesday, so today's my day off, and I'm not practicing at all. So it's all pretty chilled, and just happy to do my media on my day off.
We'll move on to questions in Polish now, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.